Hey everybody, I'm Nori and I'm home cooking. I'm working with what's in my pocket in my kitchen and I'm videotaping it. What's on the menu today, you ask? A Peruvian ceviche, my favorite. But before we get started, I would like to talk about my apron for a second. This mama cooks. Thank you, Paula Dean. For me, I'm not a mama, but mama is something that I use every day. And it's a word that I use to refer to a strong woman. Somebody who's independent, goal-driven, knows what she wants, and goes after it. So shout out to all the mamas out there. Hey mama! So we're gonna get started. My mother is from Peru. So a Peruvian ceviche is one of my favorite things to eat. It's fresh, it's juicy, it's healthy, and it can feed the family for a long time. So the two main things about a ceviche that you really want to pay attention to are the fish and the lemon juice that go into it. First of all, you want a fish that's not going to be very fishy, very fresh, and something that's not going to give any grit to the taste or the flavor. I use a Basa Fish. Basa Fish is a cousin to the catfish. It doesn't have the same taste. It's very fresh, and you can get it at your local fish market for about $3.99 a pound. It's very cheap. I like to actually cut it up into chunks and fry it with some Tabasco and lemon. Is also really good. So what I do is I cut it in half, long ways, and then I cut it into pieces. You could do bigger pieces if you want it to last longer, so it'll marinate and keep the juices, or you can cut it into smaller pieces if you want to serve it right away. Smaller pieces you'll have to use right away because the meat will tend to marinate very quickly and tend to get tough. So that'll be something that you'll have to decide for yourself. So I got my fish. I'm just going to cut it up real quick. And I got about 20 lemons. Lemons are the other component that's very important to a ceviche. It gives a sweetness to the lemons, to the ceviche, and it really gives the flavor that the ceviche needs and the fish needs for it to cook. Alright, let's put that fish in there. So in here I squeezed about 20 lemons and 1 key lime. Now, for the lemons, I like to save the rinds. You can do juices, iced tea with them. You just need 1 key lime. Key lime is very strong and potent and bitter. You don't want it to overpower the lemon. You just want it to kind of counterbalance the lemon juice and the sweetness that the lemon has to offer. So I put 1 in there with 20 lemons. And I get this is a very good tool to squeeze lemons. It's very hard. It can be a lot of work to do a ceviche if you don't have the right tools. So what I really pride myself on is a lemon squeezer. Juicers tend to make the juice very bitter, but this squeezer is very good because it's got strainers so the pulp can strain through, but it keeps the seeds. So you want the lemon juice to get a milky kind of consistency from the fish and the lemon combination, and that's what we call in Peru a leche de tigre. And a leche de tigre is that lemon juice and that fish combination. And a lot of traditions in Peru, you drink it. And it means tiger's milk, but it's not really tiger's milk. It's just the consistency and the creaminess of the juice of the ceviche. All right. So this ceviche is very simple, and I love it because it gets very expensive to go out to a restaurant and spend a lot of money on ceviche. So why not bring the restaurant home? So I'm going to start by putting about 4 tablespoons of salt. I'm not very into a habit of using measurements, but for this dish, you will need to use measurements. Salt's very important to cure the meat, and you also want it to give it, you know, some flavor. Oops. So we'll do about 2 tablespoons of cracked pepper. And then we're going to throw in our juice. All right. Let's stir this bad boy. Now, I'm also going to put some garlic, cilantro, and red bell peppers in here. We got red bell peppers. I got about 1 red bell pepper chopped. And I have half a white onion, just slivered. You want to put the half a white onion, save half of it, and put half of it into the ceviche, because what you're going to do is use half of it for your toppings. And I also got red onion. I'm going to use red and white onion, half of each. Garlic and cilantro, chopped. All right, now the last thing I'm going to put in here, it's very simple, is some aji amarillo, also Peruvian. Aji amarillo just means yellow chili pepper, and you can find these in a local Latin market, wherever you go. Sazon Goya, that I actually used the other day, makes the same aji amarillo paste. So Goya is the name brand for these Latin seasonings, and you can go and pick one up. And it's very good to use for salad dressings and other spicy stuff if you like spices. I'm going to do about 2 tablespoons of that. You don't want it to be overpoweringly spicy. You just want it to have a little bit of a kick, because if it's too spicy, you can't eat it. All right. Now we're just going to stir it. And you want all the juices to incorporate in that meat. All the lemon juice, all of the red peppers, all of the cilantro, all the salt and pepper. All those flavors are going to be your main base for that ceviche. All right. So, here's our ceviche. Looks delish. So all I'm going to do now is cover it, put it in the fridge for 45 minutes, and then check back in for part 2, see how I set up a ceviche bar. I'm going to have all my friends over and do some snack trays. See you in a minute.